Hi there, Loy Machedo, Sweeney from LoyMachedo.com, who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding. Today the date is 24th February 2018. Time right now is 6:05 in the evening. All right, I got this question from one of my readers, and the question is, Loy, how do I cope up with my critics and online trolls? There are a lot of guys who apparently make fun of me. How do I handle this? Okay. Before I answer this, just want you to know that there's a timestamp down below. So whichever point you want to access, you can just check the timestamp. If you like the video, do give me a thumbs up. You don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. You want to give your comments on the video, please do so. You want to ask me a question, send the questions to loy@loymachedo.com. And if you find the channel useful, do share it with other people, especially this video if you feel there is someone who needs their help with the online trolls and online bullies and critics. And yes, if you'd like to support my channel, do go to paypal.com. If you want to donate, I accept donations, I don't mind, money's money. Go to paypal.com, loy@loymachedo.com. I always accept donations. So let's quickly move on. The question is, how do I cope up with my online critics and online trolls? So let's quickly move on. Here are the 11 points that I would give you, 11 points of how to deal with critics and online trolls. The first one is, it's all about a perspective, okay? Now, let's say, for example, you were to go to the military. Now, when you go to the military, they make life really difficult for you, really, really difficult. You have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. You have to literally run for, like 5 miles on an empty stomach. Then you have to eat on time. Then you have to literally crawl in difficult conditions, sleep on the floor. And even if you check these videos of Navy SEALs, they're literally made to go through very, very tough times. The reason why they're made to go through all this simulation is because when the actual environment comes, they become very, very tough. So the first thing what I want you to keep in mind, the first point is, consider this more like a military-style training to help you in the real world, because the online trolls who are there are just virtual. Let's say, for example, you want to block and delete someone. It's very easy, just block and delete them. However, you can't get rid of the trolls and the bullies who you face in your real life. Let's say in your office, let's say in your house. You might even have even your brother, your someone elder in the family, or your boss. You do not know. There are so many of these individuals. So what I tell people is, these guys who are online trolls, look at them as a kind of training module for you. So that kind of changes your perspective. I look at it as a training for helping me get better. So the first point that I'll give you is, think of it as a military-styled training program for you, and that really will change your perspective on online trolls. So instead of hating them, you welcome them. So it's like, come on, give me more of what you got. And remember this, it's just online trolls. They're just online. They're not real. Okay, that's point number one. The second point that I'll give you is, it develops a kind of leadership, durability, and stamina. Now, I always tell people that if you really want to test someone's character, see how he makes decisions under pressure. Now, I'm a human being just like you. It's not that I don't feel anything at all. There are times where I really, when someone presses my buttons, and I do react. However, because I'm 41 years old, because of years of experience, today, even though I do feel sometimes, I'm able to keep it cool, calm, and composed. And this might surprise you, but many things that people say, it doesn't actually bother me. That is why when guys say, your mother's a bitch, your wife, how much did you buy your wife for? Oh, I fucked your wife yesterday, that is why that kid is my baby. I listen to all these things. I just like, okay, fine, whatever, man, whatever suits your boat. One guy said, from where did you buy this bitch? I told her, go down to the market and buy, I don't take it personally. Some of them say, oh shit, look at your fucking accent, you're an Indian. I say, yeah, unfortunately, I'm a fucking Indian, what do you want me to be? Your fucking nationality? So, and even if people say, your name sounds like Margaret Choth. I said, yeah, absolutely, correct. So when I don't take it personally. So what it does is, it kind of makes you mentally tough. All this ragging, all this, these critics. So look at it as, you developing your leadership stamina and durability, because when you face the real world, you will be put under pressure. You will have to make decisions under pressure. Even when you go for an interview, you'll be asked questions sometimes where, like, if you're an Indian and you saw this movie, Three Idiots, there is an interview process where this guy really wants a job, and the interview board says, we'll give you the job, but only if you lie or you bend and flex to our opinions. So this guy says, thank you very much. I don't want to change. I did want this job very badly, but today I'm not ready to bend with my principles. So, and he gets a job finally. So even though that was a movie, but it had a very strong message. You need to have that leadership durability and stamina, which comes only through experience. So all these trolls are giving you the experience to deal under pressure. So that's the second point. Point number 3 is it kind of keeps you on the edge and avoids you being lazy. So many a times what happens is people, one second, let me just put this timestamp here. Many a times what happens is if things are too soft, things are too easy, you tend to take things for granted, and that can really backfire. It's like this. My wife has slept on the floor throughout her life. And if today I ask her to sleep on the floor, she has no problems with that. However, me, I've slept on the bed, a very comfortable, soft bed. If I were to sleep on the floor, my body aches. So so what it has done is it has made my wife very, very tough. She literally works. She has worked in the fields under the sun. So she is a very tough human being. While most of us would not be able to survive the heat of Thailand, working in a field for 8 to 12 hours. So in the same way, when you get criticized, it kind of makes you very strong, thick-skinned, when you keep getting criticized constantly. However, there are a lot of people who only get praised, and then when you criticize them, they start crying. So that is why, most of these girls who have these dads, whenever they fall, the dad lifts them, oh, my poor baby, you fell down. These girls grow up to act like they're very gentle and soft. In fact, if you see some of the Muay Thai fighters, the girls, when they fall or they break their nose or anything, guys don't come and, oh, baby, nothing. Get up, clean your nose, fight again. So this will really make you tough. So the third point is it keeps you on the edge. It avoids you being soft. Now, point number 4, which I want you to consider and keep in mind is understand this, that haters, these people who hate you, they will forever hate you. I don't think there is any reason why they will like you. Some people are just meant to hate. Now, for example, when I do good to someone, people say he's faking it. When I show the bad side, they say, see, I told you he's a bad guy. So even if I do good, even if I do bad, I'm still a bad guy. So I was like, what the fuck? I'll just be myself. So keep in mind, if someone has to hate you, no matter what you do, they would always hate you. Like, for example, the books at the back. Now, people, even though I have these books, many people say, oh, he's just keeping the books to show off. I have bought these books. These are my books. I can show off. I mean, what do you want me to keep the books hidden, be in a white room, totally stand there? Why should I listen to you? So keep in mind, haters will forever hate. So even if you do good, they'll hate you. Even if you do bad, they'll hate you. So just ignore the haters. Point number 5 is the certificate of good and bad. Okay, now this one, what I personally believe is these... if someone calls, let's say, for example, a girl says, your girlfriend says, you look like the most handsome guy in the world. You're the hottest guy. So the question is, do you suddenly become the hottest guy in the world? Obviously not. Let's say somebody says, you're the ugliest guy in the world. So does that make you the ugliest? Like, according to my wife, I am the cutest guy that she has ever met, which I know is not true. And at the same time, there are many people online who say I'm the ugliest guy. Didn't my wife get to see? Doesn't she? Can't she see? Does she need to wear glasses? So for some people, I'm very ugly. For some people, I look handsome. For some people, I'm cute. For some people, I'm satanic. So, if I were to dance to everyone's tunes, I wouldn't know who I am. But here's the thing. I know who I am. I don't need your certificate of appreciation. I don't need you praising me. I don't care if you insult me. I know who I am. So what I feel, you should also be very aware of who you are, and you should not seek validation. You should not seek a certificate of good or bad from anyone. Keep that in mind. Next point, let me just put a timestamp here. 1 second. Okay. Okay. The next point is what matters to you the most. Okay. Now, let's say people are calling you, oh, he's so great, he's so amazing, he's a fantastic guy. Many people like to, just praise me. But because I'm 41 today, I know what matters to me. What matters to me is money. It's plain and simple. I don't care about being famous. I don't care about being viral, because you can be viral today, nobody will remember you tomorrow. You can be famous today, people will hate you tomorrow. So whatever the case, what matters to me today is the money that I'm able to make, the health that I have, my family, that is my wife and her baby, and that's about it. So, and yes, of course, my online brand and my work. Apart from that, these compliments, these fans, these followers, as long as they're useful to me, okay, fine, do my work. I don't need your sweet talk. And, so I'm very clear about my priorities. So you also have to be very clear about your priorities. What are you fishing for likes? Or, a lot of girls keep posing this way and, trying to put hot photographs, put a filter. For them, I guess the likes are important, the comments are important, the fans are important. But for me, fans don't pay my bills. Having many followers and too many sweet comments don't pay my bills. I need money. It's as simple as that. Given a choice between 1 million fans and $100,000, I would choose $100,000 any day. Given a choice between being world famous and $100,000, I prefer $100,000. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you should ask yourself what really matters. What matters? Is it money? Is it your health? Is it your family? So keep that into perspective, okay? The next point is, let me just put a timestamp. Yeah. The next point, which I think you need to keep in mind, is if you're up here, people will criticize you. People will be jealous. People will be envious of you. But if you're a nothing, a nobody, let's say, for example, you're the building watchman, or you're the cleaner, or you're a guy who takes out the garbage, do you think someone successful would even bother to talk about you, comment about you, speak to you, gossip about you to others? No, they would not. However, if you're equal to them or better than them, they would be talking about you. And if you're equal to them, not so much, but if you're better than them, always. So that is why I know for a fact the people who talk about me are not up to my mark. They are lower than me. They have a sense of insecurity, because I would rather talk about, let's say, Logan Paul, okay, who has like 6 million views per video. 6 million views. Must be making around 15, 20 million US dollars per year. Okay, so he's up there. Now, would I be talking about someone who is exactly at my level? No, I won't bother. Why should I even give him free publicity? So I talk about Logan Paul because obviously, okay, trending items, and there's a big fan following, and also because people like to know my opinion about him. But if someone would say, like, can you give me an opinion about the cleaner? I said, why the fuck are you bothered about my cleaner? Nobody's interested in my cleaner. So keep this in mind. The only reason people will talk about you or bitch about you is because you're better than them. Others, they would not. Now, the next point that I want you to keep in mind is be smart about this. Not every comment or feedback given by a hater is bad. I carefully pay attention to all my haters. I carefully pay attention. And you'd be surprised to know sometimes the feedback that they give you is really, really valuable. I'll give you a small example. One of the early kind of critical feedbacks that I got, or rather from my haters early on, was, the guy is talking so much. Has he read any book? Which book have you read? What is your educational qualification? Now, obviously, I didn't have any educational qualifications. So they kept asking him, what book do you have? Have you read any book? And, they kept bringing it over and over again. And those days, I just had two shelves, just 2 shelf library. So, and I used to keep it away from the screen. I used to just keep, if you see my previous videos, I don't know if there is, I just had a plain wall. You can see one of the videos, I'm pretty sure you'll get it, just a plain wall. But then when people started pointing this out, I realized, hey, maybe that's a good idea. So I started keeping the books, where people could see it, because anyway, the books are there in the house. And that in turn led for many people to believe, wow, he has so many books. Either he has a bookshop or he definitely reads a book. So that kind of changed people's perspective about me. And this is all thanks to feedback. So when your haters point out something that is really glaring, and many people repeat this, there might be a gold nugget for you to work on, which can help you get better. So remember this, haters sometimes give you very good feedback that can really help you change, so don't take it personally, okay? Now, the next point number 9 is, let me just put the timestamp. Point number 9 is sometimes when your haters get together and try to ruin you, it actually might be for a very good reason. Now, for example, I got kicked out of QUORA because, banned from QUORA because the haters came together, they reported various answers or questions or whatever. Now, for any person who was completely dependent on QUORA, he would be devastated. But for me, I could appeal the decision, but I chose not to, because what I realized is what happened was the best thing. Now, I could focus my attention. I reached a point where my brand was getting diluted with these questions about sex and teenagers, and everything I was doing was for free. And I realized that I'm staying in an environment where there are so many immature youngsters who are just jealous and who are haters. So why am I here? So that is why I decided to move to Medium. Now in Medium, there's no policing. There is no constant, okay, this is a violation of formatting policy. This is a violation of the image policy. This is a violation of this policy. I mean, everyone's minding their own business. And I started getting real organic. Like on QUORA, I got 54 or 60 million views, which didn't make sense. I mean, I was thinking, what the fuck, how is it possible that I got 60 million views here? It doesn't show on Google, doesn't show on YouTube, doesn't show on my blog. There's something wrong here. It doesn't make sense. If something is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So on Medium, however, the growth is really organic. It really makes sense. Like in the 1 month, I managed to get 1,000 views. So that makes sense. That is organic. Because even on YouTube, 1,000 views, that's organic. It doesn't make sense when you're 1,000 views on YouTube, 1,000 views on, let's say, your blog, 1,000 views on Google, 1,000 views on all of the mediums, but this particular medium, you have 6 million views. It doesn't make sense. So me leaving QUORA turned out to be a good thing, because I was putting 8 to 12 hours a day on QUORA. Now I put 8 to 12 hours a day on Google, which is the most powerful search engine in the world. I put it on YouTube, which gives me better ROI and I get paid. I put it on my website, which the rankings are climbing higher, and I'm getting more paid clients. So before I was giving free advice, now I'm getting paid for the same advice. So it turned out to be a good thing. So if your haters have done things which have made you lose your job or made you lose an opportunity, congratulations, that will turn out to be a blessing in disguise, okay? Moving to the next point, let me just put, understand this, that sometimes we assume that if we are surrounded by all these good people and compliments, that is a good thing. There is this saying in Mangalore, which they say, be careful of the snakes in the grass. And I've experienced this myself. Not everyone who gives you sweet talk and is nice to you is your friend. Some of them are really very dangerous people, and some of them, they can destroy you. Remember this, the people whom we get cheated by are the ones we trusted the most. All the people who have got cheated, they're always the people you love and trust. So you need to be more careful, more scared of your friends rather than your critics and your enemies, because at least your enemies, you can see them. So keep this in mind. These open critics are your friends. They are the real friends because you can see them. But the ones who call themselves your friends and they stab you at the back, be careful of them. And last, if not the least, let me just put the timestamp. Last, if not the least, is whether you like it or not, this is the reality of life. You can never have everyone who like you. You'll always have more haters than people who admire you, more backstabbers than true friends. So, once you accept this, you will not be bitter about it, okay? So the minute you accept what you cannot change, I think you become a much better, stronger person. So just to encapsulate the whole thing, just to give you as a summary, let me just put summary. If I were to just sum it all up, I would just say that these are the, let me just put this, okay, these are the 11 points. Number one is, remember, the military style of training, it makes you tough always. Number two is it develops a kind of leadership durability and stamina when you have more trolls and haters. Number three is it keeps you on the edge, prevents you from being lazy. Number four is, remember, haters will always hate you. They don't need to like you. And no matter what you do, they'll always hate you. Number five is, even if you get a certificate of appreciation, even if you get people who praise you, doesn't make you a good guy. If people call you ugly, doesn't make you, ugly or a bad guy. So just ignore these, compliments, good, bad, or ugly, whatever people say. Just ignore it. You should know who you are. Point number 6 is, remember what matters. It's the things which are important to you. For me, it's money, family, my brand, my work. All these compliments and insults, I don't care about them. That's why anyone says, oh, you're my best friend, I said, okay, fine, then pay me money, because my enemies will not pay me. Then point number 7 is, remember, only because you're important and you matter, people criticize you. If you were someone ordinary, nobody would bother. Point number 8 is, remember, not all feedback, not all complaints and crap people speak about you is bad. Some of it can really help you change. Point number 9 is, remember, if your haters get together and do something bad, maybe it's the best thing for you. Point number 10 is, you need to be more careful of the ones who praise you and the ones who are your friends, because people get cheated or their trust gets broken is by their friends and not their enemies. And last, if not the least, remember, this is the reality of life. So I hope these 11 points give you strategies and ideas and a perspective how to deal and cope up with the critics and online trolls. So this is Loy from LoyMachedo.com, who's Loy Machedo in Think Personal Branding, sharing with you his views. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Do put your comments. And if you have any questions, remember, LoyMachedo.com. This is me saying goodbye for now. Take care.